Hey, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to you as well. This is another month of 5 under $5, and I'll talk more about that, but let's jump into our first inspiration. This is an oval plaque. I got this from Michael's for 69 cents. Guys, when you see these, you just have to grab them. So I painted that with 2 good coats of Pueblo. Love this paint. And here I am going to stencil on this. I got this in a set from Amazon. I will link that down below if you are interested. So I just cut this off, placed it there. You have to fuzz this. Yes, fuzz that. And I'm going to use some folk art flat in coconut milk with my squeegee, and I'm just going to put that on. You can use a sponge dapper and just dab that on, and you don't want too much, just a small amount. And after I did the top and the bottom, I lifted that. I lifted off completely, which I should not have because I didn't do my pumpkin in the middle. So here I'm just using the heat gun to dry it before I place the stencil back down. But this is going to be very difficult because I lifted it all off. When I tried to put the stencil back on, it messed up a little bit, so I had to take it off and painted it over. And I did the middle with the white. I decided afterwards to just go ahead and do everything in white. I apologize for that background noise in the earlier part of the video. So then I took the jungle green and painted the stem and the little twirly thing that was beside the stem on the stencil. I just used the black ink pen to just draw that in. And now I'm taking a small paintbrush and I'm giving the pumpkin the lines, just gently going from the bottom to the top. And I only realized afterwards, while doing the voiceover, as a matter of fact, that I had only painted 2. It looks more like a football than a pumpkin. Then I took a piece of a craft stick, painted that the same jungle green, both sides, and left a little piece hanging so I could glue that down at the back. This leaf, don't throw out your leaves, my friend. I'm going to tone down the sheen on this. I've done this before just to give it a matted look. I took some Waverly moss on the sponge dabber and just went over the leaves. And this is what it looks like when I was done. It looks almost like lamb's ear, don't you think? And then I took the maple leaf, glued that on, also glued on my lamb's ear. Yes, that's what it is. And then I had this bow, trimmed down the end and glued that on top. And that little twiggly, curly thing, it looks like a bread wrapper. I just twirl that around the pen a couple times, and then I'm just gonna glue that in here just like this, and that is going to complete the pumpkin. Now I want this to stand on its own. I didn't want it hanging, so I glued a tumbling tower block at the base of the pumpkin, just making sure that it was level before I glued it on, and that enables it to stand. And this is done, my friends. 69 cents. All the embellishments I already had. Now this is 5 under 5 challenge. This is hosted monthly by Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and guest host this month it is Cindy from Z9 Designs. I will leave their links down in the description box below. Make sure to check them out. These ladies are very talented. They have a lot of fun inspiration on their channel, so make sure to check them out, as well as the playlist. I got this pumpkin from Dollar General, $1. As a matter of fact, it was 50 cents off price. And guys, this is beautiful as it is. I am not going to be doing much to this. So I took my black paint pen and just painted over the word that says welcome, and then dried it. Next, I took a mixture of brown oxide and nutmeg brown and just painted the side of the pumpkin. Then painted the peduncle with some of the same jungle green. Now I took a piece of this ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I'm just making a little awareness bow. Remember when I said I wasn't going to do much with this? I was going to leave the raffia bow there, but then I thought making another bow and putting and replacing that would look so much better. And here I go a little further. I took some boxwood pick and just added those right at the neck of the peduncle and then glued on my bow on top of that. And while I was painting the side, a little of the brown paint got on the edge, so I just went around the edge with that. And this one is done, my friend. Love it, love it, love it. Let me know what you think. Now on to my next inspiration. I got this also from the Dollar General. As a matter of fact, all of these that I'm using I got from the Dollar General at 50 cents each, and everything else, all my embellishment and paints, I already have had in my stash. So my DIYs each are going to be 50 cents. But here I'm just removing the little chicken from this sign, and we're going to turn this into a pumpkin craft. This is from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to turn this into a pumpkin. Painted it with my two favorite color paints, the jungle green and the multi-surface Pueblo. And here I'm using a little hot glue to just cover that hole where the string would go. And then I took the hot glue gun and I'm just making some streaks right from the top down on my pumpkin. And then I dried it. Now this is hot glue, right? So you have to be careful how you use heat on it because it's gonna melt. And here I'm going with my Pueblo, painting the pumpkin because it's now a pumpkin. If you are new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. I'm so happy you joined me today. Here on my channel, I do DIYs on a budget. If you love budget-friendly DIYs like these and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit that notification bell. Hit it again and select all so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload new videos. And this only needed one coat because this paint is very, very pigmented. And here I go with the green. I'm just using a small paintbrush. The section of the apple stem or leaf that's going to the right, that is going to become the leaf of the pumpkin. And the other piece, that is going to become the peduncle. And then to give it depth and dimension, I just went a little from the stem onto the pumpkin itself to give it the appearance of leaves. And then where I had put the art glue, I just went over that with a little of the green paint to give it dimension. And after that dried, to let the leaf look like leaf, I took a little black paint and I just put some strokes on the leaf. Next, I took some white paint on a dry chippy brush and I'm just distressing the edge of the pumpkin, and I also went across the front of the pumpkin. Then I took my chicken wire sign and used the same chippy brush with the white paint and just distressed that just to make it pop a little bit. No, I didn't have to paint this because it was already painted black, so there was no need to paint it, and since I wasn't planning to change the color. Now here I'm going to be gluing my pumpkin on top of my sign, so I added some hot glue at the base and at the top and just glued it right there in the middle. Now to embellish this a little bit further, I have these rub-on fall transfers from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut off a piece and just transferred that on. And it was very easy to transfer it on, although the ridge where I had put the hot glue was there. It wasn't that hard to rub that on. Now this is optional, guys. If you don't want to add anything else to your pumpkin, you can leave it as is. And then I just took some Mod Podge, not Hot Podge, some Mod Podge, and just went over the surface of that to finish it. You'll see more of this in the final reveal. We're moving on to the next one. Now this one is a hack, or very easy. I had done quite a few of these in the past. I'm taking a piece of fabric. I got this fabric from the Dollar Tree, and this candle holder, also had this in my stash, and I just added some hot glue at the base of the candle holder, placed it in the center of the fabric, and then just kind of fold or created small pleats as I go around. And as I go around and pleat, I just added some hot glue to hold it down. You can also make pumpkins from toilet paper. As a matter of fact, just about anything can be turned into a pumpkin these days. Just use your imagination. Next, I took a piece of this chunky stem. This came in a pack from the Dollar Tree, different sizes, and that's going to be my peduncle. I'm leaving it bare, I'm not painting it. And here I'm using some maple leaf and a green leaf that I had from another pick, and I just glued them there with the maple leaf in the center. And because they were sticking out all the way too much, I just tacked them down a little bit. Now I added some moss. This is all that I had left, and I just glued that down right around the base of the peduncle. And then I had another bow. Well, no, the raffia, I glued that back on there. Now I looked at it and I realized that the stem was too short. But before I did anything, yes, I'm trimming. Now off camera, I glued on another of the stem on top of the one that was already there. And that's it, guys. And now for our final DIY. This is not so much a pumpkin, but I thought that this is beautiful, and so I'm adding it here. Also from the Dollar General, I'm taking off the thankful sign, and I removed the paper, soaked that off, and gave this 2 coat of Waverly chalk paint in moss. This welcome fall sign, this came from a pack from the Dollar Tree, which I had in my stash. And I painted it with 1 coat of folk art linen tulle. I had this napkin left off from another project that I did last week. I will link that at the top so you can see how beautiful that napkin is. And now I'm adding some Mod Podge. Now I'm placing the napkin over that, barely enough to cover the entire surface, but it was good enough. And trim off the excess. I'm going to do the burning technique because the words are on top of each other and the space is small. I'm going to use the burning technique. But before I did that, I used a heat gun to just dry it, to reactivate that Mod Podge. And then just took my lighter, lit one end, and allow the fire or the flame to run all the way around. Now, if you're doing this technique, you want to make sure that you do this in a well-ventilated area. This wasn't that bad where I was. And also have a bowl of water beside you, just in case you have a need for it. And then I took the lighter and I'm just going in the little areas where the fire did not burn off the napkin. And then whatever excess was left, I used the emery board to just file that off. And then to seal the napkin, I went over that again with the 2nd coat of the Mod Podge and dried it. Now these were all from the Dollar General at 50 cents each. So in total, all these DIYs today cost me $2.50. So you can make these DIYs look beautiful, my friend. Let me know which one was your favorite. I glued that on with some wood glue right in the center of my little sign here, and then added some Mod Podge to seal everything in. I made a small bow, glued that at the left corner, And I call this one done, my friends. Done, done, done. Now I may have added the bow afterwards, but you'll see that in the end. Here we are for the final reveal. Let me know which one of these 5 under 5 was your favorite. There is my little bow. And if you love budget friendly content like this and you have not yet subscribed, please do so before you leave, and make sure to watch the playlist down below. And if you enjoy budget friendly craft, I suggest this video right here or this playlist. And remember also that Jesus loves you, and so do I. Catch you, my friend, in my next video. Bye.